for the ranking. Well, we're missing, huh?
Well, Eric's not here, but we will start as soon as as soon as Alex, gives us the word that the system is ready for us.
Yeah, the system is now ready. So
All right.
feel free to start whenever you'd like.
Let's, stand up for the pledge.
We have four.
We do.
Yep.
Okay.
Dr. Lovacini.
I pledge allegiance
To
to
the flag
of
of the United States of America. And to the republic
for
Which it
for
stands.
which is
which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
sudden, lapse of memory.
We all need to get in sync, that's all.
Yes.
Okay, well, looking at our agenda,
All right then.
we see that we have, members present, Alex, you've noted who's here and who's not. Or you are, right?
Working on that right here.
Okay, and then you have a couple of announcements, you have one announcement according to the agenda.
Yep. Meeting for 7. Yeah, Ken, so,
What is your comment?
okay, well, we're glad you're here. Thank you, sir. So the announcement is the Rivers Edge Bike Park public meeting is actually tomorrow, Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. I know Ken is a study committee member,
I am.
and this is the final meeting. We expect everything to go real smoothly and get wrapped up, and actually, if you want to follow along, the draft concept plan and narrative are up on the website, and the purpose of the meeting is basically presentation, discussion, and then a brief discussion next steps, but actually printed out the concept plans there on the left. If you want to look at it, I know Mitch, you've expressed some interest.
All over here.
Yeah, I know you've expressed some
Awesome.
interest.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little early, but that's, if you want to look after the meeting or whatnot, that's kind of a sneak preview.
Okay, super.
So that was pretty much the only announcement.
Okay. Okay, our next item is, the minutes from our previous meeting. And, still, those present have had a chance to review the minutes. Are there any, is there a motion to accept the minutes as submitted?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes. Second.
Okay. Any discussion of the minutes?
No. Any corrections? Robert, any comment on the minutes? I don't hear from Robert.
Robert,
Can you
No,
hear us?
are you voting? I didn't hear you call for a vote.
Well, do you have any comment or correction to make to the minutes?
Vote to accept.
Okay, so there's a motion made by,
James made a
James?
motion, Mitch seconded, so it doesn't sound like there's any discussion, so you can call a vote.
okay, are we all ready to vote then? All those in favor of approving the minutes from the, September 3rd meeting?
Aye.
Aye.
Any negative votes, any abstentions? Okay, the minutes have been approved and accepted. All right, our next item is the old business. Update, feedback on EAC recommendations, yes, what do we have for that?
So the supervisors are going to make appointments at their next meeting, so that's next Tuesday. So you'll have a new council member or two. Just so
Okay,
you guys know, I know we've been talking about it for a while. You announced a vacancy, so I did get confirmation that will be finally formally decided. So the other thing is the supervisors will be taking up your recommendation on the ordinance update. So if one of the members that's appointed is technically a non-voting member, once they adopt the ordinance, now you'll have alternate members. So that's obviously going to be a process. You're probably looking at least 30 to 60 days out until an ordinance like that can be adopted, just because of how that kind of thing works. But they did take that recommendation seriously and as nearly as I can, I mean, it's on their agenda for discussion. They tabled it last time, but my understanding is they're not opposed to it, so I can't speak for them, but it sounds favorable that they'll make those changes.
You haven't heard.
I should make that-
pushback at this point.
No, I should just make that caveat that that's my understanding. Until the agenda is published, nothing is obviously, or, you know, based on their discussion, nothing could possibly happen.
Robert, can we ask you how you feel about it?
What was the question? I'm sorry. What was your question?
The ordinance change that would add some additional members to the EAC?
Yeah, I'm all in favor of not necessarily adding additional members, but adding alternates so that we have more people there and
Right.
also more opinions. And I don't know yet, unless somebody has heard, whether Pat Owens is coming back or not coming back. And I think it's time we have to move in some direction.
Robert,
And the
I can comment on that if
Yeah.
I may.
Yeah.
So Pat offered to give us a written status update. And I just received word from her yesterday that she's home now.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. I did speak to her. I had a nice conversation with her. She sounds great. I was really grateful to talk to her. So right now, as per whether she's coming back to the EAC, I don't know. That's all I can share, that she is, but she did email me and let me know that she's returned home. So we'll see.
Whether she comes back or not, that means that we have either one vacancy or two, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
We have three, I think three good candidates at this point, right?
I know that we have two formally submitted candidates. I don't know about a third.
also, Robert, take into account that I've done this for 2 years. This is only requirement for 1 year.
Yep.
For planning commission. So you're probably gonna have somebody new. So if you need me to, somewhere along the way,
Yeah.
fill them in.
Well, we
More
could
than happy
also
to.
get some alternates.
Yeah.
Appointed once the ordinance is passed.
Right.
Yeah.
So we really have to wait another 30 to 60 days before we really.
At least 60 days.
Okay.
Because you have to remember, an ordinance, if the supervisors, first they have to agree that they all want it. Then they have to review the language, then it has to be reviewed by this, so so yeah, but I think this is a good discussion to have, so I appreciate all your input.
Okay.
My personal view is that anybody who's very interested in it, giving us a qualification resume should be invited in either as a member, as an alternate, and as people leave, they become members.
That would work great.
Can we hold off on the questions for,
Well, I was just curious as to who these individuals were, like, how do you choose them, and could people volunteer or try to do that as an alternate or sit on one of the boards? How do you choose these people? Do they just appear here?
get voted on?
Yeah, I was just curious, I don't know, so I'm just asking, I was just paying
Well,
attention.
we did a call for volunteers, how many weeks ago? Was that several weeks?
When is the deadline to stop applying for volunteers? You haven't voted yet,
So just to clarify, Ken, we don't vote, only the supervisors make.
okay,
Yeah.
so you could still volunteer technically until that vote occurs?
I mean, I don't think there's any reason why, I mean, it's a continuous process, anyone could, even if we're not announcing, like right now, there's no formal vacancies because. I mean, right now, there's one formal vacancy, but we're not announcing the opening because we've already gotten 2 letters and there's only 1 spot. And so I'm guessing the supervisors are gonna pick one of those 2 people. And then one of them is gonna sit as an alternate, and then, yeah, anytime somebody wants to volunteer for any of the commissions, they can always submit a letter of interest. Whether or not there's an opening is a different question entirely. That's
Thank you.
generally how it works at the township level. And then, if they'll hold on to those letters, and if there's an opening, that conversation can be reinitiated in the future.
Cool, thank you.
Is this ordinance you're speaking of how the new members are voted in, or is this a different ordinance?
So do you want me to answer that?
I
Yes,
think we
go
can
ahead.
take care of that right now.
So the environmental, council operates under an ordinance, and so they're taking that ordinance which was established back many, many years ago and editing one section that, well, at least potentially, that it's gonna change the term non-voting member to alternate member, which allows them to kind of fill in when they're, like, tonight, we don't have Eric here. So if we had an alternate member sitting here, it would allow them to meet quorum and also vote on things. That's all it is. It's mostly just I guess, an adjustment in the interpretation of how members are treated. It's not gonna substantively change the AC though, in my opinion.
Well, but it will have formal alternates in place, which will be very good.
Yeah, it increases your flexibility.
Right.
So with the new ordinance, this will basically formalize the structure we have.
Formalize the structure. That's a good way of putting it, yeah.
Okay,
Can we suggest this ordinance for like a similar ordinance for supervisors, since Robert can't be present anymore?
The supervisors aren't. Supervisors are. I
A
mean,
voter position.
yeah, I guess that's like a totally different thing.
Understood. Okay, stupid question, sorry. Could have waited till the end.
all right, anything else about the EAC recommendations?
The data center ordinance was moved forward. So that is being advertised. They on their last meeting, they moved to send it to the counties and advertise for adoption.
Did they adopt the recommendations that came from the EOC?
No, it's not part of the draft.
Okay.
The text on the water being the primary coolant was not, but your general recommendation of moving forward was. So I think 95% of it was, you basically said adopt this, and then we also read
Say
it.
that again about the water?
The current draft that they motioned to move forward does not have that language added to it or edited. So
They didn't edit that.
they did not.
They didn't like it.
No, they didn't say that. They just didn't discuss it. They didn't comment on that. We sent it to the solicitor, and I guess, that's not something I can even speak to. You can always ask them, what their opinion is on it.
Why do we have to ask? Why don't they
Yeah,
respond?
Robert can tell us right now.
Right, why wasn't there a response, Robert? As to the recommendation for the water, the concern with the water?
There was a concern, but this whole question is, I mean, we did consider your concern, all right? And I think either we changed something, I can't remember, or we felt that it was already in there, that it was covered. One way or another, we did address the concern. So it wasn't unheard, and it wasn't discounted. But quite honestly, I think it was.
I believe it, but is there? We should have at least got something that said that this is the ordinance, the way it's being submitted, so we could have seen it.
I believe that the discussion came down to that what your concern was covered in other ways. And quite honestly, at that point, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I even brought it up. It was covered. It was a concern, but it was felt that somehow that's already been covered in what we have in the document.
In what paragraph?
I don't know. Jim, if you want to know, I'll ask Julia to find the notes and see exactly what they said, because I don't think the minutes have been published yet.
Okay, because it's still a concern.
I know. Look, my feeling is this stuff goes back and forth so much that after a while, it's just I get dizzy wondering what the present document is, because it's endless, just endless. And so in this case, it was discussed. I can tell you that it wasn't dismissed.
But in the interest of fairness, okay, I feel like, I feel a little slighted because, we just found out that anything that we discussed here was just like, it's moot. It's like, didn't matter. So.
It's
but
not that
there's-
it doesn't matter, it's that among the ecological concerns we have with, whether it's water, whether it's power, whether it's the size of the buildings, and it was felt that this was adequately covered. And if you want, I'll ask Jacob to send you something on the discussion, but I think first I'll ask Julia for the minutes to see what was actually said. It wasn't dismissed, that I can tell you, and it wasn't ignored. It was discussed. So
I believe it. I believe that it happened. I just trying to understand, what, at what drove you to the conclusion that it was already in the wording of the, cause I didn't see that, but, I'm just
I
a
will-
human being, I might have missed it.
I will.
Alex, I'm sorry, Robert, but Alex, it's me, Vicky. Is there something that you have in front of you that you could read that certain section that the water is discussed in your terminology? Because I do agree with James that it should be considered and we need to protect our well waters that we all have private wells.
Well, it was discussed, it was considered. I'll get you both the minutes so we can see exactly what was said. And one of the reasons I'm a little unclear on it is my feeling is that no one is ever going to build a data center in Smithfield anyway. We
Yeah,
just
but that's your opinion, Robert. We don't know what the future holds. I
I
don't
know we
have a
don't.
crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. I'm just saying that we need to protect and we should not have any loopholes available.
There will always be loopholes, but I think we felt that was closed. But I will get you more notes on it, okay? Let me ask. As I said, I haven't been terribly concerned about this one because I think,
My concern isn't about preventing,
I think misinformation.
Robert, my concern isn't about preventing progress.
People don't.
My concern is protecting a vital resource that is affecting the whole world. People are not seeing that, because they were living in this small town, but all over the world, water is a big concern.
I
Okay, and I
agree.
hate to see what happened to Smithfield Township that happened to Flint, Michigan, that they sold the rights to the water. Okay, and people were being poisoned because the water was being siphoned off the Michigan River, Flint River.
I think all your concerns are valid, but I also think in terms of this particular amendment that we're trying to figure out, uh, it's kind of it's an intellectual argument because this no one is there's just no room in this township for what they want to build for data centers.
I have 16 filters in my house, so I can get a clean glass of water. Okay, and this is water that's being pushed through a pipe, okay, that comes from a well, okay? And it's supposed to be, and according to them, this is drinkable water, okay? But my pipes, the end of my faucets, the cookingware that we use, okay, tell a different story. I got filters that turn brown as soon as the water comes into the house. So I think it's something that's really important. It's because it's, I, I heard her name, but
Vicky.
Vicky. As
Yeah.
Vicky said, okay,
Here, James.
that there's no crystal ball. We're not preventing progress. There is an alternative on how to keep these machines cool without interfering with our water. Okay, we're not the ordinance should deny them use of water, okay, because they're gonna need water, but they don't need 100,000 gallons a day to cool machinery.
So James, the point is, there's nothing we can do about it now. The supervisors are already moving.
I get that,
forward
I'm
with it.
just
But
I'm just voicing from the heart.
What we can do is Alex can put it on his list of action items that will get some official
Okay.
feedback
Got it.
as to what their thought
Okay.
process was.
Okay,
I mean,
Is that okay, Alex?
yeah, I mean, I just feel like maybe we should try to remember where the data center ordinance originated from. It came from this EAC, if you remember correctly, about, oh, I think it was August of 2024. You know, the EAC asked the supervisors to update their standards, right? And I looked into, I have the floor. I looked into the, if you don't mind. I looked into your criteria and I basically agreed with the consensus that it needed to be updated. And I sent my recommendation to supervisors and they agreed to begin the process. And so because of this group's initiative, your ordinance has now been updated, so it's much, much more protective than what it used to be. And in your new draft, which will be advertised soon, there's at least a full page of what, just dealing with water. So I feel like there's this comment out there that's we are protecting the water. We're not doing the very specific thing that the EAC wanted in addition to what you already had. The language that water shall not be the primary coolant was not part of the final draft. Now, that's not something I have any control over. I sent the letter as you guys requested, the supervisors made a decision. It is what it is, but there is a whole bunch of criteria to protect water in the current ordinance, a lot. There's at least a full page just dealing with how to address water quality. So let's just clarify that your current ordinance does not have any of that. So what's going forward is already super protective, and there's still another review, right? The county's gonna review it, the township's gonna review it, and then there'll be a hearing. So you can come to the hearing and comment, you know, and there can still be revisions made. So this isn't a done deal. We're just, the supervisors, I should say, are just moving the process forward step by step as these things go. And as soon as it's advertised, it'll be on the website. So my feeling is let's, you know, digest what's out there. Let's let the process play forward. And there's many opportunities for additional comment. This isn't the last, but this group as a council, this is your, you know, as a group, that was your last say. If you individually want to come to the hearing or comment to the supervisors, that's your right. But I think the group my feeling is the group's already spoken. If individual members want to express their opinion, there's many opportunities to do that before this becomes final. I appreciate you letting me explain that. I hope that was helpful.
very helpful.
It is.
Okay, thank you, Joe.
But it didn't clear up. It's still. The main issue with the water is, the water should not be the primary coolant. There are other alternatives, and as Robert is saying, that the odds of this ever happening in the township may never happen. So everything that you said and everything that you said, Robert, taking that into consideration, taking all those things, that consider them all, just supposing that it does happen, but sometime in the future. Okay, why are we going to subject everyone with water that may be contaminated or wind up being overused, because you're gonna have somebody that's gonna cut corners. Okay, and that is the concern. I get it, okay? I yield the floor.
Well, okay, that's a hypothetical. This whole discussion is very hypothetical when you think about it. So I think we're ready to move on, aren't we?
It's not hypothetical, but I agree,
Well,
I agree we should move on.
I agree, let's move on. All right. So our next item under old business is update on the fall pickup. Pick up the Poconos.
And there was one other update. So your letter to Stroud Township.
Oh, right, okay.
So that is still being reviewed by the township manager. As soon as they get around to, you know, making one decision or the other, probably this week. You know, it'll, you know, we'll either send it or they'll let you know what they want you to do, but there was a little bit of a delay on that, but it has been sent, the letter to do multi-municipal collaboration. It's been received, you know, they're looking at it. It's just I haven't gotten a word on that yet. So just so you know, as soon as the meeting was over, I sent it, so you guys.
So we'll look forward to an update then,
Yeah.
the next meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right, now we're up to item B. Now we can get to the fall, pick up the Poconos. Alex, you wanna comment on that?
Yeah, so one of your programs is coming up, pick up the Poconos. It's October 10th from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. We have a few people that have registered. And we really just need to make sure that everyone here is gonna show up. Does anybody who's an EAC member, do any of you guys can you not make it? Or is everyone planning on being there?
Double check.
Okay, yeah, it's Friday the 10th.
I may have a medical appointment that day, but I'm not sure yet, so.
Okay,
I hope to be there.
okay. Yeah, so we only have a couple members from the public that have signed up, so, the DPW is gonna help. But we really need everyone from the EAC to come so that, we have at least enough people to do the job. I'm a little concerned if we only have 2 people that show up, we won't even be able to clean all the litter that's there. We need at least 10 people.
We'll help.
Yeah, but it's October 10th on Friday.
We'll help.
We
Yeah,
all got jobs from 11 to 1:30.
Yeah.
We're working.
yeah. I know it's a little.
I'm a community guy. I'm willing to help out, but not on a Friday between 11 and 30,
Yeah, and we talked about this at the last meeting, sir. The problem is that the DPW, the Department of Public Works, needs to be on the road to make it safe for people, and they're only available on Friday. They're not available that weekend. So that's why normally pick up the Poconos is on a Saturday, but because of the unique topography of Fawn Road, it's just like we couldn't get the DPW there if we didn't have them there. It would be too dangerous for
As much as my taxes are, they probably could come in and pay them overtime for Saturday, I believe.
Well, that's a conversation that's not something I have any control over, unfortunately.
Okay, well, you could definitely get more people on a Saturday than you can on these hours.
I agree.
I'm just stating.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have another pickup another time and hopefully we can get it on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, the next pickup will be on Mount Nebo Road. That's what they're talking. And it'll be the same thing, people will need DPW and I can let them know like, hey, this is a, and we have to have them there. It's not a negotiable thing. So,
Understandable.
yeah. And I'll send the message along. Again, we're probably like at least, that's probably a March thing or April things, but I'll make note of that. What was your name, sir?
Ed Driver?
Ed, okay, thank you, sir.
All right, any further comments or questions on the fall pickup? Are we all good to go with that? Okay,
So we're all gonna be there, the 3.
we plan to be there.
We plan to be there.
We plan to be.
Good Lord.
I just need to know-
Don't rise.
I mean, I feel like I just need to know, if you can't, you need to explicitly let me know. Because we are having a shortage of hand issues, so we need to know if you guys can make it. So I know seems a little strict, but again, we have like a safety crew out there, there's enough trash that we need at least, I would say bare minimum 5 people. You know what I mean? I would say like everyone from the EAC and like a few people from the public at bare minimum. So I do need to know if you can't make it. So please email me, let me know if you can't make it, check your schedules, I appreciate that.
How do we sign up for this?
There's a QR code like right out in the lobby.
That's cool.
Yeah, you could
So
just,
if you have a medical thing, we could bring a few people. I know my boys and I would come. So we would love to help clean up. We'll do that. Thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. Thanks
That
for
would
your
be
help.
awesome.
Of course, we love that.
The more the merrier.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, can we move
Yeah,
on
yeah.
to the,
I will prioritize.
All right, Tom.
I appreciate that.
okay,
He said he's gonna prioritize the EAC then.
all right. Moving along, item C, update on our hike, the EAC hike at Godfrey's Bridge. Alex?
Yeah, so I have an update on that actually. So the way the hike's gonna work, so we have a lot of people that are interested.
Great.
The good news is there's lots of parking there, but it's a little disjointed. So there's the main parking lot near the dog park, and then down there's a cul-de-sac with some like a gravel area that you could probably also park. So I don't feel like parking is gonna be a huge issue, but Todd was right. Parking is probably gonna be a little bit of a constraint, so we'll have to see how that goes. I might have to direct.
What
people.
about the state building? The welcome center.
So this is at Godfrey's Ridge, so I think 2 different places, right? So this is at Glen Park, which is over off of what is it? Park Avenue, the Park Avenue exit. Sort of like the bridge that crosses the creek across to the borough, so it's back in there. If you look at the address, it's like a little pocket park back there. So it's back in that pocket park,
And
basically.
that connects to Godfrey Ridge.
It's on Godfrey's Ridge. So the way the hike is gonna work
You
is
mean where the cemetery's in? That
kinda. I could try to explain it. All right, I can see if you look on this map to your right.
Yeah.
You see where Godfrey's Ridge is, that kind of weird shaped thing? That's where it's located on the bottom left there.
Are you talking about the entrance near Awesome?
It's, a lot of people don't know about Glen Park. So Glen Park is located in the borough of Stroudsburg. It's right on the border of Smithfield Township, and its address is located on the flyer. So if you want to know where it's located, I think the easiest thing to do is just put that address in your GPS and it'll show you exactly where it is. It's off of Collins Street, I believe. So basically, when you park down there, there's a limited amount of parking, but I did identify some additional parking, which is a gravel cul-de-sac, like 300 feet. So if we have to park over there, I feel like we're okay. We're just gonna have to do a little more walking. I don't think it's unsafe. And then the hike itself, the way I feel we're gonna have to do this is we're gonna do an out and back to the waterfall. So there's an old hydroelectric dam with a waterfall. Now the water level is gonna be super low because we're entering into a drought. So it's not gonna be a huge waterfall like it might otherwise. I mean, calling it a waterfall is a little bit of a stretch. It's a broken hydroelectric dam, but it's still kind of cool. There's some ruins there. And then and that's about a mile and like, that's like over a mile just to get to the waterfall. It's like a mile and a half just to get to the waterfall. And then once we get there, there's going to be an option for those who are physically unable to ascend the ridge, which is like 500 feet tall. Those folks will bring themselves back to the entrance of the park. It's literally like a straight walk. You can't miss it. And then a group of folks who feel like they're capable of ascending the ridge, I'll lead them up to the ridge. And there's a scenic overview of the borough of Stroudsburg and the Broadhead Creek and McMichaels Valley. And you'll see the fall colors too. So that way everybody gets a hike regardless of physical fitness. They're both about, it's between like 2 and 3.5 miles, depending on which hike you take. So do you guys have any issues with that approach?
No, some of the terrain is steep though, isn't it?
Not to the waterfall. It's perfectly flat right to the waterfall and back.
Okay.
So as long as you're capable of walking 2 miles, that should have no issue whatsoever. The 500-foot descent to the top of the ridge is I'd say it's moderately challenging. It's definitely going to get your heart rate up, and one should not have any like sort of knee or hip issues, in my opinion, because there are some spots that are pretty steep.
Yeah, I
We
also
don't have to bring ropes in our climbing gear, right?
No, you don't need any carabiners or anything like that. But it is, there are spots that are steep. The view is really worth it though.
now this is gonna happen, rain or shine, correct?
Rain or shine, I mean, unless it's dangerous, it's not, I mean, it might rain. We don't know until a few days out, but rain or shine, but I'll email everybody if it's canceled. We did have like 10 people from the public that are gonna join us, so it should be a pretty good thing.
Okay,
I hope I wanted to report back on that. I think it's gonna be fun for everybody and there's gonna be something for everybody.
So that's 152 Collins Street. Are we parking at that?
Is that what it says on there?
Yeah. 152 Collins Street
It's weird.
is a residential house.
I'll look into that and fix it.
well, sometimes depending on your GPS program. Sounds like a goofed.
Either way, we'll figure it out. No, I just Googled it. Mine shows right at Glen Park, so I don't know what that's all about. Here, check it out.
Really?
It puts the pin right at Glen Park.
152 Collins.
Maybe it's across the street.
I don't know. But either way,
Well, it's kind of a hidden little place back
yeah,
there.
it's a little pocket park.
Pocket
gem.
park, right?
It is a hidden gem. It's a wonder, I think that's why this group wanted to go there, because it's unique.
Yeah, there's a little softball field there and
Mhm.
not much else to the park itself, actually.
It's a dog park now.
Oh, that's what they
gone.
designated as a golf park, not a softball diamond.
Not anymore now.
Okay. All right, does that take care of item C? Okay,
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put this on discussion. Yeah, there you go, one part.
So it's plus.
Yeah, yeah, you can't, it's pretty obvious.
I
but
got
Either, the reason I wanted to put this on discussion was to just have, instead of it as an announcement, again, we want everyone to come. And it's 1 PM on a Saturday, so I hope that's good for everybody.
Is that the parking?
That looks like it changed, yeah, it's a kind of a small gravel lot,
Yeah,
yeah,
there's a crop plot.
yeah, that's it. It's probably gonna require me and some of us to park back in the cul-de-sac, but again, there's no through traffic up there, it looks like it's just a turnaround, so I feel confident it'll be okay.
People come in groups, they can always carpool a little bit and.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, yeah, I just wanted to just get a head count from the AC, is everyone, like Robert, Mitch, and James, you all gonna come to the hike?
I'd love to.
I'll try.
Okay.
James is shaking his head up and down, so.
I didn't shake my head either way.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you've never been there, it's nice, it's a really nice, like, if you live nearby, it's a really nice place to just kind of go for a hike, and I did check for safety, there's no safety issues as nearly as I could tell, I scoped out the whole thing, you know, so there's been a history, I'll be honest, a history of folks who were living there, and I didn't see anybody who was living there.
I see a walking.
There's no trash, there's no tents anymore, it's cleaned out, I didn't feel unsafe at any time other than the possibility of the steep slopes, that's
So
why.
the National Guard already made the sweep too, huh?
No, actually, I think it was the county. It was, the county came in about 6 months ago, beginning of this year, I think, and the county actually, because it's county, a lot of it's county land, and I think they worked with, I forget how it worked, but anyway, the safety issues, the tents, and things like that have been removed, most of the trash is gone. I know it seems like a lengthy thing to talk about, but you know,
It is.
there will be a waiver as well for participants to sign, you know. the
We have
whole
a
article.
public comment.
All right, is there a question from the?
I was there, I would say like 4 weeks ago, and I actually got stuck in between, I would say like 5 tents, I was riding my bike.
Yeah,
And then I went down the trail and I was in between all their tents, they came out,
yeah, I didn't see any tents when I was there,
yeah.
so.
5 weeks
I
makes.
would say there was about like
Yeah, that's-
15 more in the distance as well.
Yeah, it could have been, like Mitch said, it could have been in the interim, it could be gone now. At least the trail that we're taking, I didn't see any issues, but that's a good point, you know, I won't be able to go back there and investigate, but, you know,
Is that trail running along the creek?
yeah.
The
It
Broadhead?
runs along the Broadhead Creek to the old hydroelectric dam.
So it's,
So that's
So
the
that's the one.
relatively level.
that's the one there behind Walmart,
It's perfectly flat
behind Walmart.
behind, yeah, on the other side of the creek.
Okay.
Oh, to the
Okay.
Walmart.
All right, are we up to new business? Okay, first item then is, discuss the EAC presentation to supervisors on the recommendation to update the official map, so we have the official map in front of us. And, Alex, you wanna comment on that?
Well, this is a draft.
Well, this was from your last meeting.
This is a draft, yeah.
Right, so this, so that, remember, this was one of your recommendations to the supervisors, and they came back and said, okay. We heard your recommendation, we'd like you to present to us.
Do you have an
So,
extra copy of that? Sorry to interrupt.
what's that?
You can have
My
my,
map? Yeah, I'd like that one.
sure, there's an extra one here.
Oh, yeah, I'll just take this one right here, that's yours, I'll take this one right here.
Here's another extra if somebody wants.
All right, I'll give that to them. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, just to clarify, this is a recommendation from the EAC to the supervisors, and the supervisors want more information on what this entails. So that they can learn more about what the EAC has in mind, so. We're still, you know, you guys said you could do next week, the 23rd. I understand the supervisors have some hearings coming up, so it might need to be pushed back a month, but they want to have this done before the end of the year. They want you guys to formally present this by the end of
So,
the year.
but, yeah, are we gonna do it next week on the 23rd, or this is?
The latest, they're still working on the agenda, but they might have to push it back because there's a hearing on the 23rd. So they might have to push back to a month from now, or maybe like the first meeting in November. But they want it before the end of the year. They wanna take this into consideration and do it. So if you guys are okay with like a slightly flexible timescale,
That's fine. If it's not gonna be done next week, I need to know.
okay.
So we're
I
looking at,
need to know with at least, enough time.
Oh, yeah.
so we're looking at a date in October, possibly even November.
I would think, yeah, because I know there's hearings for they told me there's hearings maybe for the next 3 meetings in a row. But it could be probably either the second meeting in October or the first meeting in November. But they don't want to wait too long. They don't want to wait till December,
What's
so
the hearing for next week?
the lighting ordinance.
And that's
Okay.
on a Wednesday, right?
Yeah, their meetings are on Wednesdays,
So
yeah.
it'd be Wednesday, the 8th would be the first week in
No,
October.
next week.
No, you're probably looking at the first meeting in November or the second meeting in October. I can clarify with them tomorrow when the manager's back and then see which of those 2 dates work, and I'll let everybody know. So that'd be like the 11th of November or the 28th of October. One of those 2 dates is probably what you're looking at.
Okay, that's fine. with
Are
me.
you gonna take the lead on the presentation? Was that the idea or
That
not?
was what we decided last time.
That's what I thought, just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify, okay. So
Yeah, it sounds like the
I'm
supervisor.
gonna drag you behind me there, okay?
drag, okay.
That's, yeah, all right, as long as you guys are okay with a little flexibility in the date, I'll report back and then email the group and let you know when it'll be. How does that sound? And I'll give you plenty of notice. I'll give you-
But I've already started putting this stuff together.
Okay,
Okay, the other thing is that this that fact sheet needs to be changed. It needs to be updated. Okay, because, I think I don't know who wrote this, but, there's some things in here that are not really in sync with the ordinance, the map ordinance.
What's the source of this official map fact sheet? You remember where it came from? Who wrote this?
that's a good question. It came from the county.
Okay,
Okay,
They provided that to us.
right, but it's not, because I've read the ordinance and it's not really in sync with the ordinance.
what ordinance are you talking about?
The Smithfield Township map ordinance.
We have a map ordinance.
Yeah, chapter 30.
Yeah, if you recall, Ken, you guys are recommending not adopting an ordinance, it's just tweaking it a little bit to add new features. The most prominent one, if I recall correctly, and James, you can probably clarify, is bike lanes along 209.
Correct.
I remember that.
If anyone here has ever been to, anyone here been to Toby Hannah Township?
Wait, right.
I've seen the
Yeah.
bike lane
Yeah, they have,
along
yeah,
Ninth
nice,
Ward,
yeah, they have
by
prominent
the
bike lanes.
by the high school.
Yep, by the high school, exactly. So that's the idea. That's where the idea came from. So there's grants available. It's definitely doable. That's one of the features. The others.
Well,
Sidewalks.
it isn't just a bike lane, but you come off of exit 309, okay? You're coming into Smithfield Township. There's nothing that said, welcome to Smithfield Township. Okay, it's a mess. It looks like an intersection and if you know where you're going, you're fine. If you don't know where you're going, you just follow the road, but there's no presentation. Okay, the township has absolutely no presentation. It doesn't say, hey, here's a town, here we are. Okay, this is our main street, this is the hub, because 209 from exit 309 till 209 North, Milford Road. Okay, that's our main street. And there's nothing that indicates that this is a town.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with the official map fact sheet?
What,
It's just a comment. for
it's a
discussion.
comment.
Well, I'm just saying that.
We all
But-
agree with, we should have some.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the ordinance and that's yours.
What did
Okay.
it say, the ordinance is number 20?
30.
30.
Okay, chapter 30. So what I'll do is I'll look at it again.
Yeah, there's 30.
Okay, and then do a fact sheet in accordance with chapter 30. Instead of having something, because I wanted to do that for the presentation anyway.
Right.
Okay.
You're proposing your own fact sheet.
No, I'm proposing a fact sheet that's in accordance with, okay, chapter 30, the map ordinance, okay? Not my wish list, okay?
That's
But
fine.
according to what the ordinance says we can do with the map.
So you want to basically coordinate the two things.
It should be together, yeah.
All right, well, that makes sense. If you think, if you're sure that that's necessary.
It's absolutely necessary because
All right,
this was presented by, this must be the original sheet. This was prepared when the map ordinance was being discussed to be put together.
all right, this is a generic.
Exactly, it's a generic sheet, it's not our sheet,
Okay,
okay?
sure.
So it's something that somebody could pick up and say, oh, in the township ordinance, we could find this information, or in the township ordinance, that's what it says.
Okay,
Okay, rather than a wish list that was prepared, maybe 25 years ago.
okay.
Where is the exact location of the potential community building?
Here, corner from her.
That's it?
Yeah, you already have kind of a community building here already. But it wasn't identified on the map. So it's literally just codifying
That's
something.
the
that
one
you
on the
kind of-
corner back here, right?
Yeah.
So you have to turn left off of
Well,
It's
you already-
overlooking the pond.
209.
Yeah,
There's already a house there. Those Boy Scouts use it. It's literally just codifying something that already exists. It's simply like, you know,
Jim, just to clarify, the reason that there's no sign on 209 as you get off 80 saying, welcome to Smithfield. It's state property, it's PennDOT property, it's a right of way, and behind it is private property. There's little place where we can actually put one. If you look at some of the other roads, we were pretty good a few years ago of putting up Smithfield Township signs, but on that one, it's problematic. And I don't think we've tried in a few years, but I know that Middle Smithfield has been trying for years to put up a sign on 209 just before you get to the Price Chopper there, saying, welcome to Middle Smithfield. They have yet to succeed. And it's all about putting up a sign on a state road. So it's not easy.
If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But I'm sure that we have, it's gotta be, maybe we can get one of the, they wouldn't have any objection if we could put a sign on property, right? Just thinking in a forward direction, okay? Maybe there's a little piece of heaven there on 209 that's not being used, okay, that we can actually attach something, a pole, okay?
Maybe
a pole.
maybe what we should do is put up a banner sign that we've already outlawed, and just change it every 3 months when the zoning officer takes it down, just like all the businesses along there are doing.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking.
You want a formal
I'm
recommendation?
thinking maybe something, something, why can't we, but if they have signs that, direct traffic to Stroudsburg, okay, why can't we have a sign that says entering Smithfield Township? Because that probably we can get done. Because they have them there, Stroudsburg, they have one that comes in on 307, they have one on 305, okay?
If it's an official highway sign, we could probably get them to do it, but they're not going to do it until they enlarge 209 to 5 lanes anyway. They'll give us all kinds of excuses. Believe me,
No,
it's endless.
I think positive and I think forward, and I think that we can get it done.
Take it on.
You have to have what they call
I guess.
PMA. It's called PMA, Robert. Okay? positive mental attitude.
Well, folks, I think we're getting
We're on-
off the agenda here.
we're on
It's a
the-
separate item.
I got it.
It's another time. Okay, I think we're up to item B on the new business, and that's to discuss the Pennsylvania Environmental Council's recommendations on green stormwater infrastructure. And you sent us a very lengthy document to look at or a preview, and there's an awful lot of
Is it, what is this?
information to digest there.
What is it?
I'm still talking.
Go ahead. Go for it.
That's one person at a time here.
All right,
So,
your turn.
so in any case, it struck me that there's quite a bit of information in what we were sent earlier. Alex, can you summarize or reduce? There is, otherwise there's just a lot to digest here.
Well, I think that was part of the, so the background is the Pennsylvania Environmental Council, which is a nonprofit organization. Had a grant that, they utilized to help the township. And as part of that grant, they reviewed the ordinances of the township. So that process took several months. And, you know, if you want to read their findings, you kind of see it on the first few pages, kind of summarizes it, but, one thing they said that I'll read out loud is by incorporating these green stormwater, well, basically what they did on the first page is the primary goal of this evaluation was to establish the option to install green stormwater infrastructure by right when conducting a land development project. Okay? I don't know, does everyone here know what green stormwater infrastructure is?
We did that on the, environmental, webinar that we did at the beginning. Where
Yeah.
they spoke about, at the end, they spoke about, all these ideas for, directing the water so that it could be, they're properly utilized, so that we use it instead of it, so that the water can get filtered at the same time, it's doing good for the environment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so this evaluation was to try to figure out how to codify that when somebody comes in for land development. That's kind of where the township has a lot of discretion on environmental protectionists. So somebody comes in and wants like this, the gateway and wants to build I don't know, something there. During that land development project, you could modify your ordinances a little bit to make it easier for them to put like, you know, green stormwater infrastructure. Like
So when they do
trees,
their
more-
downspouts,
yeah,
they can direct the water to
yeah.
irrigate the garden or.
Yeah, like
Okay.
islands in the parking lots with more trees instead of just a detention basin, like a rain garden. So that it provides habitat and it's not just purely water being, you know, infiltrated into the ground. So they did like a full review of all of our ordinances and they actually determined that, that our ordinances do incorporate green stormwater infrastructure recommendations and requirements into our stormwater management code. And the township has achieved the primary goal of the review by largely because our stormwater ordinance is really, really good. We have one of the strongest stormwater ordinances in the whole county, actually, in the state. Our stormwater ordinance is phenomenal. This township supervisors do a really good job at stormwater control through their ordinance. So they basically, you know, commend the township for that. But then they say, we did, if you really want us to be, you know, thorough, they went in and provided us with 20 pages worth of recommendations on how to tweak, like not our stormwater is phenomenal here. We do stormwater really, really well. But some of our subdivision and land development ordinance provisions could be tweaked. And we can also do education for like new homeowners. So if somebody comes in and wants to build a home, you can, you know, educate them. Hey, if you want to build a rain garden, here's like best practices. And so it sounds like the township would like the Environmental Advisory Council to consider whether or not they want to take lead on some of these educational initiatives for like new homeowners and things like that. And then also maybe, because right now we're trying to work it out with Pennsylvania Environmental Council on how to update the ordinance. But that might just be something that they send that you guys don't have to do.
We have, you're saying that they're proposing that we should think about a new ordinance, or this is an ordinance that's already in effect, and we're gonna tweak the ordinances?
Yeah,
Or
it's
or-
in effect and they would tweak it to add more
what
detail.
ordinance is this?
Subdivision land development ordinance.
For subdivisions?
Yeah, primarily. Well, no, land develop, subdivision and land development.
So I'm looking at page 7 out of 20, and it's the topic education and outreach. That's basically what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, I would say that might be something that's more digestible. Like this group, let's say that ordinance tweaks do occur and this group's still gonna weigh in. But right now, we're trying to see if the council can help us write the ordinance rather than that might make it a little more straightforward since they already know. They're already familiar with what they recommend, so we'll see how that goes. But for right now, this group is being sort of tasked with taking a look at the education, as Ken said, and outreach provisions of this recommendation, and let's see how we can maybe make this a program. Maybe we could do like a new homeowner education. Or maybe we can put together a packet that the zoning officer gives people with their building permits, something educational. Just so, you know, that's kind of what we're being tasked with, is the educational and outreach components of this.
Well, the education wouldn't be confined to new homeowners, right?
No,
It
it
would
would be,
Because existing homeowners can do a lot
oh, yeah.
to improve the way that stormwater is handled.
Yeah, especially if they're in one of these subdivisions that was approved back in the eighties before they did stormwater management. You know,
Yeah.
unfortunately, here in Monroe County, a lot of these old subdivisions. Back then, they didn't really enforce stormwater management, and so you have. Existing stormwater issues that need to be kind of resolved post hoc. So I think you're right, I think existing homes can also manage stormwater a little better.
Yeah, there's specific recommendations here about how to manage your downspouts.
Yeah,
So that they actually can irrigate your garden plants,
exactly.
what you have planted around your home. And also they're talking about how you can create rain gardens with native plants.
Mhm.
So these are pretty straightforward homeowner recommendations that this group can try to educate people on what they can do for themselves.
Okay,
All right. Well, it makes a little more sense than it did. It was kind of overwhelming to see this big document here.
yeah.
And I wasn't quite sure how it fit in with what we're supposed to be doing as the EAC.
Mhm.
So, okay, that was helpful.
Yeah, I feel like you guys, the supervisors want to move forward with this. There was general agreement amongst the board when this was presented at the last meeting that they want to adopt some of these tweaks to even though we're already so good, even at the state level, like,
Right.
but they want to go further and further, they want to go further and, consider the recommendations and take them up. So I think you guys are going to see this at some point anyway. And so I guess the planning commission, because it would be revisions to the, even if you're not in the AC next year, if you're still in the planning commission, you would, if there's any revisions made to the saldo, you guys would weigh in too. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm talking so much. but I just-
Yes, sir. It would be nice if the supervisors came and, talk to the EIT as a group. And, give the group a rundown and ideas of what they want to see. So I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking that at the beginning of the next session, okay? For the first meeting, give a presentation of what they're hoping that the EAC can accomplish. Because all we get is all this, they would like, but.
Well, Robert is a member of the EAC and he's also a supervisor.
Correct.
And he can serve as our liaison. That's what I think
That's a great idea.
So I think Robert, you're willing to do that, aren't you? I assume.
Thank you, Robert. You're the best.
Either way,
All right.
So Ken, do you want me to sort of take out the educational portions of this recommendation and sort of bring it back to you, so it's a little more concise. And then you guys can rediscuss in 2 weeks from now.
What I
Can you
would
pop
like
that
to see-
into,
Oh, wait a minute, one person at a time. Go ahead, Mayor.
What I would like to see is this 20-page document boiled down into bullet points on each item.
apps?
Because, you know, it's extremely time consuming and not clear. What are the bullet point items in each one of these sections for each one of these questions?
I can make a
That
recommendation.
Oh,
Smithfield
wait,
is
let
supposed to do.
him finish.
I can make a recommendation,
Okay,
okay? You could pop each page into,
AI,
exactly, and ask it to give you, you can pop the whole document and ask it to give you a bullet.
it actually did that when I pulled it up and was reading it.
Right, that Gemini will do it, Chat GPT will do it. Any of the AI programs, if you ask it to do it, they will do it. Okay, so it'll give you summary, ask it to give you a summary and then ask it to give you a bullet point.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
it
I mean,
sounds
you
like,
guys could individually do that too. I mean, I don't know that you need me to do that, the township.
Okay, you don't have enough.
I think I'd like for you all to read it, which I'm sure you already have.
well, I think we should have common ground here. I think that if we have individual summaries, then just gonna be more confusing, so.
I mean, it's. Not all of this document's germane to what the EEC is gonna be doing in the future, because a lot of these. I mean, it kind of depends on my conversation with Peck. Are they gonna help us write the new ordinance amendments? If yes, then. You guys probably won't see a decent chunk of this document again until you see the ordinance drafts. If they say, no, that's not something you're gonna have to do in-house. You know, then that's a different story, but at the very minimum, the educational components in here are gonna be kind of. I think that is something that you can immediately start working on, and then. You know. I mean, what you're suggesting is, I'm kind of generally. Not super thrilled with the idea of just, you know, it's only 20 pages and I know that everyone here can read 20 pages, and so. I would say read through it. In detail and try to make sense of it, and I can do my best to try to put together a bullet point of. Sort of. What's germane and sort of what the take home is. And, you know, I could explore using AI, but I mean, you know, I'm sure certain members here may be a little bit more, I know certain members here are already doing it, so maybe you could also do it and we can all just compare notes at the next meeting and try to make sense of it all. I do think it's worth reading through the whole thing, I personally. And, you know, that's my personal opinion. It's not my call, though. I'm not a member of the EAC. This is my feeling.
Right. The problem with putting it into the ordinances is that then instead of this being a comprehensive, clear view of what the township is doing on stormwater, it becomes scattered to umpteen different ordinances.
Right, but, okay, can I ask a question, because you brought up something very important. Okay, because you're saying things will be scattered, okay, stormwater. That's what I was asking, okay, when I was asking with, you know, the supervisors as a whole. Can give us an idea of, at the beginning of the year, okay, what they're expecting. And what is it about this ordinance that you want to use that will help in stormwater, and how can we as the EIC contribute to make that happen? That's what I'm trying to
So
say.
just to clarify, so the stormwater ordinance is really, really strong already, right? So you're talking about the subdivision and land development ordinance, which has some stormwater features in it. If you read through this document, you'll see this term, James, saldo/zoning
Right,
requirements.
I read that, yeah.
Right, they're not referencing your stormwater is dealt with in a standalone ordinance. The subdivision, land development ordinance and zoning have some provisions which sort of overlap with it. like landscaping requirements, like what species of grasses should be planted in the.
But are you,
things like
I
that.
get that, but is this a suggestion or is this gonna be a requirement?
That, I mean,
I think it's a recommendation. Right?
Okay, because
what we-
you're talking saldo, you're talking ordinance, you wanna tweak something, is this? Are you looking to require people to do something, or you're suggesting something?
so I'm not saying that this has not, I am sort of just the middle.
No, I'm not saying that you're suggesting anything.
Okay,
Okay, what I'm asking is this the purpose of what we're gonna be doing?
well, I think the township would like you guys to take on the educational components of these recommendations.
Okay.
And to leave the ordinance revisions up to the person who wrote this and myself and members of the township internally until we can try to wrap our heads around what it's gonna look like, and then we'll come back so we can have a more, because we don't know either. We're still trying to figure it out too. The person that wrote this is, we're gonna have a conversation. But there are certain things that we know for sure right now, like that educational section, that's something we can immediately move on. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, there's a lot of, like,
Sure.
on page 7 of 20, education is a review of procedure in place for downspout or foundation drain disconnection, and rain barrel installation. Right? That's something we don't have in place right now.
Because then, you're talking, individual homeowners, or you're talking about these associations that were built back in the 70s and 80s were not stormwater conscious.
I think we're talking about all of it, but I mean, it definitely falls into the powers of the council.
But
because
if all we're doing is honing in on the educational aspects and the benefits of doing this, then that's something that the EAC can do. I don't know
Right,
if we can delve into anything else.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Well, I think we're looking at doing things incrementally. Isn't that, so we're starting with the education aspect.
Yeah.
Of it, and as things develop, we can possibly add in on it,
Yeah.
I see, just perusing this quickly, a lot of these recommendations here are simply updating the existing ordinances to reflect, I guess, more updated practices in certain native plants and so on that aren't reflected in the current ordinances. So it's a matter of just updating.
Yeah, and I don't think that we would ask the EAC to draft ordinances to that effect. I think this organization that wrote this may be willing to do that for us to help. You know what I mean? But I think we can definitely help. If you look at page 7 and 8, there's a lot of really good content. And that's why I felt like maybe what I can do is I can go through this 20-page document and pull those low-hanging fruit things for us, and maybe, we can work on that.
could you do that by question number?
Yeah, by question number.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I'm looking at page 7 and 8.
see, I
right
don't see there's much for us to do with the first question.
Well, no,
because-
some of that's not gonna be relevant.
I mean, that's historic stream channels,
Yeah, like that's not relevant to us.
right?
We don't have any.
So there's nothing there, there's.
But if you turn to page 7, that's where I see a lot of really good stuff, like,
Yeah,
there's like a lot of. Like, for example.
Well, that's the downspout thing.
Yeah,
downspout and the rain garden, there's specific ideas here.
like we can even have a presentation on the basics of rain gardens and things like that. There's a lot of programs that the council can take up that aren't necessarily modifying an ordinance, but are just educating the public, and then maybe we can produce some sort of material that we have out in the lobby that people can pick up. And we can distribute to homeowners to educate them, by the EAC, here's some information for you, homeowner.
Take advantage of your downspouts.
Yeah,
That
you
sort of
can
thing.
direct the water to this low-lying area, and if you plant the low-lying area and fence it in so the deer don't eat it all, you can have a rain garden, simple things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's preparing a smorgasbord for the animal planet.
Yeah, that's, we
Okay,
all know that.
that's a concern heavily on my mind. Okay, it is.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I agree.
Okay, well, also. Can we get our hands on a copy of that? The section on the webinar that we attended that spoke about all these rain gardens? So maybe we can use it as an educational tool and have.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great thing to, and I'd also love to see you guys make your own. Like maybe maybe we can make our own video and put it up on the website.
Well,
There's also, there's a lot of good stuff, right? We're not gonna take all 20 pages.
Well,
of it.
so you're saying that we should make a video, I get that. Sounds like a great idea, but where we're gonna get the materials to, build a garden and where will we build the garden? And, because then you're gonna need rain barrels. Okay, we're gonna need, somebody's gotta go to Tractor Supply and get all this, will the township,
well, you're jumping way ahead here. I don't think we're into.
So I'd like to move that we table this motion make a motion that we table this issue to the next meeting. And that we all highlight the educational opportunity.
Yeah, and also Eric has been an advocate of the educational approach here, so I think we should let him weigh in on it. So there's been a motion to table the discussion on.
I second the
On the
motion.
motion to table, and then what Mitch was saying is everyone's homework is to highlight the educational portions of this 20-page document.
Okay.
And then you all, I'll help, let me know if I can help, obviously. I mean, I'll pull what I think as well. And then we'll all compare notes and then try to put together some programs.
I'll let my assistant do the work for me.
Your virtual assistant.
Let me tell you, it's the best thing that ever happened.
Do you have a second? You have to have a vote on.
Oh,
We'll vote on it.
well, who made the motion?
I
Mitch made the motion.
Okay.
And I second the motion.
Okay, any further discussion?
Robert, wanna weigh in?
No, I'm waiting for the vote.
Okay, all those I don't hear further discussion. All those in favor of tabling?
Aye.
Aye. Any negative votes or abstentions?
9.
Hearing none, the motion carries. Okay, now we're up to council member comments on the agenda tonight. Any further comments on what we've discussed so far tonight?
My pet peeve. H2O.
Well, okay, all right. So
Okay.
noted.
The water.
We're gonna call you the water boy now.
Okay.
You can call me Water King.
The water
You
king.
can call me Water King.
You got it.
Alright,
That you can do.
we'll get you a crown. A water crown.
All right,
Okay.
all right, any
No,
other?
you have to get me a Poseidon, and you have to get me the Poseidon
Right,
try.
only if you wear it every meeting.
I will.
Alright, careful what you wish for.
Okay, any other comments on the agenda from other council members?
Robert?
No,
I would just like to encourage.
Yes, you're commenting? Christopher?
Yes,
Okay,
I would just like to encourage through Robert and Alex, the supervisors. To move on the ordinance change and the appointment of EAC members and alternate members. I think that's really important.
I
So it
think,
shouldn't lost and put aside because that's something that's important to the EAC.
Well, it's a growing concern, as the population gets bigger,
Yes.
okay?
okay, so noted, Robert?
I agree that we should move on. It's been long enough. So we need some more people and new people.
All right, so we'll take it, Robert, that you'll move ahead with that with the supervisors, correct?
Yes.
All right, sounds good. All right, now it's time in our meeting for public comments on tonight's agenda. Tonight's agenda, not other items. Okay, very good. And
May I comment on tonight's agenda, please?
yes,
Thank you, sir.
and you repeat your name again?
Sure. My name is Elisa Byrne.
Okay,
Thank you so much for allowing us to participate. We appreciate you, providing all of this wonderful information to us. I was able to, Alex, through the QR code, I signed up myself and 5 of my closest friends, but I'm going to encourage a lot of our friends to show up and help you guys out. My boys work really hard. I think we're gonna get a lot cleaned up. and I appreciate that. So thank you, and thank you for keeping us abreast of all of these wonderful discussions, like after the last meeting, that I attended on, I believe it was Thursday. Ron had stated that he really appreciated this level of government participation. So I want to thank you for including us and for allowing us this opportunity for my family and my friends to come here. There's been a discussion of people being local and coming here, and then we have some folks who have kind of like honored us with their presence. And we're grateful that you allow that as well. So people that are invested in this township in the past, I believe, 30 days, we have had over 439,000 views on our Instagram page. So people are, it's gaining a lot of attention and a lot of traction, and people are desiring to come here from far and wide and participate. So after the last meeting that I attended, that I did have an opportunity to get up here and share for a little bit. I will not hold you hostage tonight. You were very patient last meeting. But quickly, I just wanted to keep everyone, including Robert and everybody that's paying attention, whether you're here or whether you're out there. I know people are watching. So thank you for watching. Tune in. And we appreciate the transparency that you're offering, and we're grateful for that. So after the last meeting that I attended, something did come across my desk. The supervisors would know about that. So I did receive some correspondence, as Ron had kind of promised that he would, and that you would encourage, which everybody wants, these conversations that include us. So there was some correspondence that came across my desk, and it said that there were, there was an executive session with the Township Board of Supervisors regarding the Mountain Matter litigation.
Wait a minute, hold on. Your
It's
comment,
to our meeting tonight.
what is on the agenda with your
Yes.
comment?
Yes, before this is
on the
regarding the
agenda?
agenda, sorry.
This is, I
She's
understand.
speaking on.
So right here, it just said that I was saying that I appreciated you including us in this, and the things that I learned about that I wouldn't have learned about if I didn't participate here. And two of the requests, real quick, I'll make it very quick. Real quick, two of the requests from the Board of Supervisors was that we discontinue coming to all of these board meetings. They said that if, and I quote, "If there is any hope for settlement, we need to cease immediately by coming to these meetings, because Robert doesn't want to attend as long as we come, because he's lying, and we're calling him out on that, because Robert is a liar, and we are here to expose that. And with the members of the community that we have reached out to and gotten a lot from, we appreciate that we're allowed to be here, but I just want to know."
Your comment is not pertaining to tonight's agenda.
No, it is.
You're going back to a discussion of the previous meeting. We're not entertaining questions on Mountain Manor or on, what is it called?
The back nine, I wasn't
Back nine.
asking a question, I was just having a public comment.
Well, I think you're finished.
Oh,
Because we're not here.
okay, we
No,
have to
wait,
shut up.
wait.
Last time they all walked out and now you're telling us to shut up.
No,
Sit and
I'm
listen.
not.
Sit and listen,
you-
sir. Sit and listen. Thank you. Continue, Elisa.
I just wanted to make note that we do want to settle with the township and avoid taxpayers spending all this money, and we want to converse. Ron has encouraged that possibly we could have some discussions, and that it is our right to be here at these meetings because we are participating. We are valuable here. We're valuable.
You are repeating.
She's
And
talking,
not-
thank you. She's talking, thank you.
Hey,
She's talking, thank you.
no, she's done talking. She
Oh,
has
of
not
course, because
addressed.
you said so, because you said
All
so.
right, and chairing the meeting, and you have not been recognized.
Okay, I will be
The chair
recognized.
does-
I'm up
the chair
there
does have
in regards to the
discretion.
agenda. Thank
The
you.
chair does have discretion on how he'd like to run the meeting.
That's
So
right.
the other thing that I wanted
No.
to
You're
note
in my way.
was
Mr.
that
Chairman, we have to operate under Robert's rules.
Yes.
The chairman does have discretion on certain things, but crosstalk for members of the public isn't helping, especially when it's shouting.
I have the opportunity.
understand.
I'll wrap it up very
So,
quickly.
yeah, if you
I don't
wouldn't
think
mind,
you
just,
should tell me to get down.
As long as you
I'll wrap it up
address
very
the
quickly. I
agenda we
apologize
talked
for
about
any
tonight.
disruption. That is not our intention. Our intention is not to disrupt. This gentleman is kind enough to be paid by you to be here to protect all of us. I don't intend to disrupt. I intend to let you know what has been going on with the conversations relevant to what we are discussing. So we have been asked by the Board of Supervisors and kind of warned that if we hope for a settlement in further discussions, we need to stop doing what you're asking me to stop doing. Our right to participate.
And you have
I'm just
participated.
letting you know that because
Well,
you're
then,
a
all
council
right.
member. and your opinion is important to me. This gentleman said a lot of nice things. I don't come here with any threat of disruption. I want to just have a voice. I won't hold you hostage again. I appreciate you allowing me. Please don't cut me off so that I can finish.
I think that I will give you 5 seconds to finish.
But that's not my right. I can speak here.
No, you don't have a right to speak endlessly. You have
Okay,
made your
well, I
point.
do
young
disagree
lady.
with that. And we've had
I
an
have
issue where
discretion as
we are not
chair.
harassing you. I don't come here to
I'm
harm
going
you. I come here to speak to you.
Adjournment.
The chair has the right to adjourn the meeting.
I
Alright,
call
Okay,
for-
well, I'll
I'm
speak
going,
now.
I'm gonna go second.
I feel like that's really nasty that they told us we're not welcome to come here and that they.
We are not.
You have been told to stick to tonight's agenda. We are not bound to discuss anything except what has been publicly made, what has been made public as our agenda.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Chairman, I mean, we have the right to, unfortunately, Robert's Rules of Order require that there is a certain decorum in public meetings, and that
Call the
means,
point of order.
and so,
One person at a time.
We can help you with everything that we talked about today, but we can't help you with what's going on.
Right, but this
Okay,
is our
and then-
belief forum and
You're
it's
you're
working.
allowed,
Because he's not coming because he doesn't want us to tell the truth.
but
Okay, man, I go.
Yeah.
This is our only
I
platform.
get it, I get it.
So,
I get it, but-
my name's Zach
With all due
Bartowski,
respect-
109 Clubhouse Court.
No, I have not recognized you,
With
sir.
all due respect, James has the floor.
Yes,
James, would you like to continue?
Yes, okay. What we're trying to, you have a right to speak as much as you want. But
no,
what you want to talk about has nothing to do with the Environmental Action Committee. Okay, if you are participating with helping the committee meet its goals, yes, you can speak to your heart content.
But we're being
what's
asked
go-
not to come even here and we wanna participate. I'm just letting you know.
you are allowed to participate under our terms with our agenda.
Not what
We are not,
That's what we're saying. The thing is that
You know,
this particular forum, this particular time that we're here is to discuss things that have to do with the environment.
Understood.
What happens with your litigation between the township and yourselves,
I don't mind.
it's nothing we can speak of.
Yes,
And
but
that's,
you can listen and you thank you.
okay, and we have, but we cannot
Right.
do anything beyond that, and we have, our point of order is that we've come to the end of our meeting, and there's a call to end the meeting, it's called an adjournment.
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
could do, Mark Chairman, you know what you could do?
Yes.
You could defer public comment to the next meeting and adjourn tonight, since it seems.
Yeah, it's gonna really make you guys look like assholes to the 457,000 people.
Well, I
that
just
watch
got a
it.
letter where they don't want us to speak and that is our right, so. we
And,
can't
and,
do that.
and to
I
the
have to
agenda, and to the
recognize you, sir.
agenda, I've emailed you twice about getting on the agenda. At the last meeting, you said that someone can email you. I don't even get a response from you.
Yeah, so
I get it.
basically, the Sunshine Act allows us to defer public comment to another meeting and adjourn. So at this point, that's an option you have the right, you do have to allow for public comment. And it doesn't necessarily have to be on the agenda, but you can
Thank you.
adjourn the meeting and defer it to a future meeting.
Please adjourn the meeting. It's gonna make you guys look better. Please do it. Come on.
I'm just,
Come on.
it's
Vice
just a
Chairman, I make a
recommendation.
motion that we adjourn.
Thank you.
There's
a
a
motion has been made to adjourn the meeting. Is there a
Kick
second?
the can down the street.
Is there a second?
Yes, second.
I hear a second. I hear a second.
We cannot hear if there's a second.
I hear it.
3 points.
Is there a second to the motion?
Is there a
Second.
second?
Okay, Rob, there's a motion.
Robert, he's doing it from home, the little weasel.
All right, all those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
See you later,
Meeting
weasel.
is adjourned.
James, thanks for having some.
That's it. Thank God.